heart attack. Fast, fatal, heart impact. Past painful scars, in fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions, fact, don't ask, grab reactions, jacked, attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose, pick a new submerged juice. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember you're discreet now, get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty, hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now, before we do begin, let us give a brief little review. In the last part, we had Izuku, Katsuki, Izumi, and Katsuki. Now, these four have been here in this militaristic world for about a month, and in that amount of time a lot has happened. Now, Izumi was very surprised about exactly how things were right now. Izuku and Katsuki, these two are regaining memories of this world very, very fast, and that seemed strange to her. And then there actually was Bakugo. It somewhat distracted her a bit more. Apparently Bakugo, he has been here for a few months from what he was saying. However, after sitting down and talking to them a bit more and opening up, Bakugo, he had to step out of the room for a minute. And Izumi, she went after him. Now, Katsuki and Deku, these two, they somewhat talked a bit about it. While Izumi, she went to go confront Bakugo, which was a bit of the right idea, since she learned quite a bit from him. Bakugo revealed to Izumi he hasn't been here for a few months. He has been here for nearly 2 decades. He has not just lived this version of his life, he has made the choices that have gotten them here today. And the fact was, he thought he was losing his mind. He just thought he was that insane little boy who kept having night terrors of things that were way too intense for someone his age to have ever even witnessed. Now, with that being said, Bakugo revealed a lot to Izumi, which in turn helped her understand how things are in this reality. Now, with that, we do actually have Izumi, who she does have to process all of this. And right now, we do actually have a few months later. Now, the way things are, it became a bit easy for all these four to won't fall out of touch, especially Katsuki and Izumi. Now, Izumi, she got caught up in her work, and there actually was Bakugo, who he did somewhat sink into his own work as well. However, he kept trying to make sure he can always come by or swing by occasionally to catch up with his family, aka Katsuki and Izuku. Now, eventually that did somewhat fall out of pattern, and the four, they went on a little bit. Now, they went their separate ways a little bit. Now, we do actually have, let's just say, 8 or 9 months later, where Deku, he actually has returned back home. Him walking inside and going to actually set down a pair of boots directly outside the front door, as he does walk in and then going to take off his hat and then his dress shirt. Now, Deku, he takes off the larger shirt and he goes to hang it up, as he's going to put on the buttons, making sure they do actually look fine, before he does go directly walk in and go to sit down, bring his hands up and somewhat going to try and just calm himself down. It seems very strange and intense, and for his work, it is somewhat easy to understand why he would be a bit, annoyed. Now, Deku, he does wonder about a lot, and right now, he does go through his usual routine, as he does watch some TV to relax, and then Bakugo, she herself would come back from her position job. Now, the two, they do somewhat talk and chat, as they prepare dinner together and eat. Afterwards, either choosing to relax, train a little bit, or go out for a walk. Now, it is quite easy for the two to have fallen into this routine. And there actually is tonight where the two they decided to just watch a movie and just head to bed. Since Deku had to be up early, and Bakugo, yeah, she herself wasn't too keen on what she had to do the next day. However, the two they would both wake up at the same time and then go for a morning run. Then taking turns in the shower before they do eventually go their separate ways for the day. And we do actually have Izuku, who, whenever he does arrive on base, he does actually get stopped by somebody. And he is quite intrigued by it. As the person, you're going to bring up their hand, and they're going to grab onto Deku's shoulder. Deku going to turn his head to see Bakugo. Oh, hey, man. Hey, listen, we need to chat. Now, Bakugo, he does going to start walking. And Deku, he does going to turn and walk that way. As he does going to catch up to Bakugo, ask him what's going on. Listen, there's a lot going on right now, and I won't bore you with the extra details, so here's what you do need to know. Right now, there is a training exercise going on. A lot of the younger kids and teenagers, we're taking them out on a training exercise. However, while we are doing that, it is also in order to look for other recruits who may have gotten lost inside the nearby forest. So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to parachute into the area, and we are going to use flares to show our positions. It's going to show where we all landed. Once it has happened, we're tasked with looking for the person in question. If we can't find them, then they're presumed dead. And if that's the case, then we're searching for a body. Jesus! Oh. Right, you're not used to... No, Bakugo, I'm used to some intense stuff, but just, the way you talked about that. Oh, sorry. I'm in... No, trust me, I get it, man. Don't worry about it. Now, Deku does ask Bakugo when they're leaving, and Bakugo, he does talk about how they're leaving right now. Deku, all he really does need to know is he has extra clothes packed up and he has a tent packed up. They'll be out there for a total of 2 weeks. If he does need to make a call or let Katsuki know, then call her on the sat phone. What? I'll explain more when we get on the plane. Alright? Now, the two would walk up the ramp, and everybody they do go to fly up into the air and leave the area. And Deku, he would actually call Bakugo. Well, Bakugo, she is currently going through her own training and going through a lot in her own expertise. She does get the voicemail. However, it is from a unknown number. Now, Bakugo, she would be quite surprised hearing Deku's voice coming on the other end, explaining the current predicament. And right now, Bakugo, yeah. In the very least, she is quite happy to have been notified. However, there's a bit of a annoying thing about that. If Deku's not going to be home first, then, well, it's gonna disrupt that pattern she had. And she did somewhat like it. Now, Deku and Bakugo, they would head out to the drop zone. And once they do get there, there is where the plane does open. And Bakugo, he'll going to turn around and begin to start informing everybody. As he is actually wearing some clothes that do fit a little tightly. And they don't come above the straps on the harness he's wearing that does contain a parachute, along with even some other gear. Now, Bakugo, he does go on to start. He is Commander, well, Bakugo. And right here, this is Commander Midoriya. They're the ones in charge of the operation to locate the person who is MIA, or the persons who are MIA currently. They are going to be dropping with flares to notify their positions. And right now, what they are going to be doing is they're going to be dropping in intervals of about 1 to 2 minutes It is all up for them to decide. Once they do believe that the person who jumped before them is a good distance away, they are all going to need to do the following. Pull this cord right here after they throw themselves out of the airplane. Since falling to the ground, it's going to be very simple. If they do not pull the parachute fast enough, they will go splat. And the first time jumping out of an airplane isn't fun. So, show of hands, who here has jumped out of an airplane before? Now, Deku does turn his head to watch as a few people actually go to raise their hands. And Deku, he's a little shocked by that. Some of these people look young. And that might just be because he's in his, mid-20s, but that says a lot. Okay, so he jumped off an airplane before too. Okay, so he has the memories in his head. Alright, this is a lot more nerve-wracking, but okay, let's go. Now, Bako, he actually has to go to turn to Deku, talking about how he has all those supplies, right? I do, yeah. Good. Now, would you like to go first, or should I? You should go first. Alright. Now, Bako, he does go to directly turn and start bolting. Him basically just going to directly fly out of the airplane as he does so. And Deku does get to watch that. Before he does just go to start running forwards and actually going to jump and fly out himself. Now, a few people do watch that, as they are confused. That wasn't a good amount of time, was it? Now, people do start to jump out of the aircraft, and right now that actually is Deku. Deku, he feels odd and strange. I mean, he just threw himself out of an airplane. And this, it seems intense. He has the wind funneling through his ears, and he can't hear a goddamn thing. And then there's actually the goggles protecting his eyes. And whenever he does actually see the ground get a little bit closer, he does go to pull onto the parachute cord. I almost said airchute cord for some reason. Now, he pulls onto the cord, and then he does go to feel himself get pulled upwards as he does look down. Now, after that does actually happen, you do have where the two, they would land. And Deku, he does get to pick up his radio after doing so, and start talking to Bakugo. Now, Bakugo and Deku, they are both walking around the forest as they do start to talk. And Bakugo, he's explaining a few things to Deku. His backpack, it has the necessary supplies. And his kit, it does have enough stuff to keep him alive for a few weeks. It also does have emergency supplies such as a tool to protect themselves with, a firearm, and, well, a water purifier. Now, Deku, he's kind of alarmed by this. It all fits neatly in this little, container. So, that is something. Now, Deku, he does go see something that does kind of surprise him, as he does go to pull up what looks like, what is this? Some sort of syringe needle thing? Okay. Hey, Bakugo. What is it? What's this syringe thing? Be careful with that. What does it do? Yeah, let's just say you're gonna hope you don't need to use that. Listen, the tool in your pack, it works in conjunction with that thing. How so? Well, I mean, the best way to explain it is basically just like this. That stuff, think of it like a temporary booster for your body. And think of what's inside that emergency tool as, well, a last resort. Uh, what do you mean? It's some sort of mix the doctors give you. It'll amp you up in a way that's super crazy. And inside that little toolkit I talked about, It's, well, a weapon. Are you joking? Nope, I wish I was. Anyways, that's for in case you run into any wildlife. And I'm talking about dangerous wildlife. Otherwise, just try to evade it or be careful. Or if need be, use your weapon. Right. So, can you give me a description of this kid? You'll know him when you see him. That's all I can really tell you. Besides, these are some of the last areas he was spotted in. And, well, comms, they picked up a communication, I believe, not too far away from here. Besides, it's not that bad. So, you talked about this like it was nothing, did I? Yeah. Have you been doing okay? Oh, um, I'm I'm fine. Are you sure? 'Cause you just seem to be a bit off. No, no, I mean, it's I'm processing a lot is all. Oh, um, any new memories? Oh, uh, some, some. I mean, I'm also just still thinking about a lot of things I have seen. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I know what you're talking about. I mean, I don't really think that you do. Bakugo, I watched myself die, quite literally. And I also did see the end of a reality. Oh, that's fair. And then there are these crazy things you keep talking about, as in you being a god, and, well, apparently being responsible for throwing ourselves into different multiverses, or realities, and proving the existence of the fucking multiverse. Hardy har har, Bakugo. That wasn't a joke. But seriously, though, I'm just. I'm dealing with a lot here. Is it because I'm your cousin in law? What? I mean, that is the term, right? Technically, her parents would be my in laws, and you're her cousin, right? Dude, listen, I'm just gonna say this right now. That has nothing to do with it. Night City fucked me up pretty good. I mean, shit. Whenever I got here and I was acting different and odd, they thought I was mentally deranged. I mean, I had to get thrown into therapy for that. Really? Yeah, hang on. Let me get back to you for a minute. Now, Bucko, he does gonna go radio silence. And Deku, he does gonna look around a bit more. Him putting the radio back down onto his waist. As he actually does go to slip it onto a pair of pants he's wearing. Now, Deku, he actually does go to somewhat keep his hand on his holster and walk around. As he does look up, he can still see some of the areas where the flares, they are still spewing smoke up into the air. And if the passing airplane didn't alert whoever was missing out here to their presence, the flares, they're going to be hard to miss. So, for right now, that is good. Let us cut over to Katsuki. Now, Katsuki, she was a bit surprised by everything today. She fell into the routine. It came naturally and it felt nice. However, whenever she does get home today, the routine is broken. And there is no Izuku. Now, it does somewhat surprise her. And she does go through a few things. She goes to sit down before making herself at least something that would be good to eat. Afterwards, she is sitting down and thinking about a lot that has happened. Her just sitting there and continuing to actually chew on some food. It seemed a bit strange at first. I mean, the whole relationship thing with Izuku. He's so much like Azumi, but at the same time, he's not. The mannerisms and a few other things like that, they're similar. They're almost the exact same. I mean, the same way their face will react sometimes. I mean, it makes them a little bit more predictable, but it's also a sense of comfort. Is that it? No. Okay, so Izuku isn't Azumi. He's close, damn near her best friend, but he is his own person. She does have to remember that. Izumi, she has this one thing that she does like that Izuku does hate. And then there's actually a few things that Deku he does like that Izumi does hate. And, well, it is interesting just to think about. Okay, so she won't be hanging out with Izuku today. But another idea does pop into her head. Izumi. Maybe it will be nice just to catch up for a minute. I mean, it's a bit later into the day, and if she's right, then they can hang out a bit. I mean, hell, they could do anything. Do some training, just hang out, watch a movie, go out somewhere. I mean, the world is, well, easy to handle here. So, something normal. Something normal. Now, Izumi, she actually does get a call. And whenever she does so, there actually is where she does go flying through the air and smashing onto a mat. Ash just hears her phone buzz before he's going to talk about how she does have to take that. The person going to give her a thumbs up before going to turn and start to tell a few people, and that is how you properly toss somebody in the correct way. Now, Izumi, she does go to directly answer the phone asking what's up. Hey. Oh. Hi. What is it? Hey, listen. Izuku, he's out of town for a while, and I'm a bit bored. Are you free to hang out? Oh. Um, well, I mean, not right now. It's, a bit complicated, but I'm handing a class. At least helping out a friend of mine. Afterwards, I have to go home and do a few things, but maybe afterwards, but that might take me a few hours. My schedule is a bit packed tonight. Would tomorrow work? Oh, um, yeah. Alright. Uh, that sounds good. Now, as it does actually happen, you do have where Izumi, she's gonna hang up. And you're gonna turn and walk back over. Her asking her friend, does she need any help with a few other things? And her friend is gonna talk about how, maybe, everyone would like to know how a proper match does look. Exactly how the way the body does need to move. Since proper combat training can only be shown through proper combat. And the person you're going to directly stare at Izumi. Them going to actually take off a few of the protective equipment items they do have. And they do at least got to bring up their hands. Showing that they do have wrappings on their knuckles, as they do ask Izumi if she does want to do bare knuckle boxing or something else. Maybe judo? Alright, interesting. If we're going to be doing that, then let's at least ask a question. Her turning and asking everybody exactly what do they believe they should be doing then? Since if they are going to be doing something, how will they test and see what the majority may want to practice? Now, a few people they actually are shouting out a few things. And Izumi, she actually has here one that does start to somewhat take over the crowd. Now, Izumi and the other person, they do hear the exact fighting style. As they do actually start to go back and forth a bit. They do start off a bit slow, but the intensity does go to crank up. And there actually is where Izumi, she just go rushing in. Her staying low, as whenever she has to actually go in, she is able to directly grab her opponent by the back of the ankle, going to sweep them up before actually going to grab them with the other hand and going to go for the throat, as she's going to get ready with her own fist. The moment she's going to slam her friend directly down into the ground by grabbing her by the throat and just forcing her body downwards, she's going to force her fist directly down and into her gut. And we will actually cut over to Bakugo, who right now she is living through a few different channels. This is a little boring. I mean, there's not really a lot on. There's a few things about history, there's a few about, well, current events, and there's a few things that she just finds a little boring. I mean, there are some cartoons and stuff like that, but even they don't seem to be entertaining. Okay, so media in this world does get boring. That's a little surprising, considering the amount of shit that just talks about how tanks work, how certain things work, and how to actually modify certain equipment. Okay. Alright. So what should I do? Her clicking down on the button. Well, you know what you should do? Her clicking the button again. Before freezing. Huh? Her going to click back. As it is going to flip back. You really should consider it. What the? I mean, seriously. What else are you going to be doing? Right? Katsuki. Now, Katsuki does go to panic. Her going to drop the remote as she's going to jump backwards. And the moment she does actually go to watch as it does hit the ground before at least going to change the channel again. And Katsuki, she does just somewhat freeze for a second. That, okay, no, that was a coincidence, right? No, wait, he said her name. Who the hell was that? No. Katsuki, she is currently on a channel that does actually have a bit of animation. And there is whenever a character does get to walk directly on a screen. Them actually around a corner before they're just looking down at a book. And Katsuki, she is just going to watch as the character they do go to directly close it up and going to look directly towards her. It is a redhead, and they are currently just holding onto a book with their hand before they do go to directly look at the camera before just going to directly toss the book as hard as they can out of a window. And Katsuki, she is confused. Before the book just come flying directly through the window of her house that was just to her right. And the moment she does go to directly hear the glass break, she does go to, well, stand up and go to pull her weapon. Her pulling her gun out of her waistband and directly going to turn to her right. And the moment she does, she just going to directly run to the door. Her ripping it open and going to run outside to look around. There's nobody there. But that doesn't make sense. Now, Bako, she does go to check her phone. And right now, whenever she does go to do so, she does look at the surveillance cameras. Before she does make a startling discovery. She cranks back the timing, and there is where there is the day. Her speeding through it to see the routine. Before there is where she does going to drop the remote and freeze for a second. Before there is over the book to just come flying straight through the window. There was nobody there. There was no explanation in logic as to why that happened. And the moment Bako does make that connection, her blood runs a little cold. She knows what this might mean. Her gonna walk back inside. As a few people, they did hear the crash. They didn't think much of it. However, the fact that their neighbor's window is broken, it is going to stand out the next morning. Now, for right now, Balko, she's just put the blinds up. And right now, she's going to walk over to see exactly what was thrown through her window. Since the person on screen, when she's going to look back at the image, they're gone. I mean, it's the same image of a hallway, but there's nobody there. Now, it does seem surprising. And the image does just continue to cut around. It's in a school. And it's empty. There's nobody there. It's just hallways. I mean, it's the middle of the day, where you'd expect busy people just be walking around and going around, and images of people just walking around there. The characters there. There's nothing. Now, Bakugo, she does gonna walk over and grab the book. As whenever she's gonna grab it, she's gonna walk back onto the couch, or walk over to the couch and sit down on it. And afterwards, she is gonna look looking at the book. There's a hardcover book in her hand, and it feels strange. I mean, there was a color to it on screen, but it's different now. It's pure black. I mean, what is this? Now, Bucko, she does try to open it. However, it doesn't budge. It's like it was just glued shut. Now, it does somewhat disturb her. And she has actually got to somewhat think about what to do. Her going to set the glass down, or set down the book, and going to try and think about what to do about the glass. However, before she can really say anything, the breeze suddenly does just stop. And she's going to look over towards the window. And the curtains, they're not blowing anymore. And the glass on the ground, it's gone? Now, this does confuse her. Her walking over and going to check the window, pulling the blinds back to see the person. And she's going to jump backwards before they do just suddenly disappear, right before her very eyes. And Bakugo, yeah. She's going to fumble. Her turning back around and going to try and grab her gun off the table. However, there is where she's going to grab it and go to turn back around. And just try to look around. Okay, they're gone, but no, they were just on TV. But this is an animation. And the person, they were real. They threw a book through. Wait, how would you even define that? No, that doesn't make sense. That thing on TV, and here, how are they connected? Now, the person, they do actually start to speak. Exactly how is that possible? Her turning to look directly at the TV. And right now she's aiming a gun at it. They're back. The person sitting on a windowsill, asking Bako exactly how do they think anything is possible? Who are you? Me? Really? Such a shame. Did he never mention there was more than one? More than one? More than one what? There was more than one god. Now, Bucko, she does somewhat feel her fingers just lose all their strength. That simple little phrase. There's more than one of them. I mean, that just sounds, well, not possible. How is that? Oh, don't worry. It doesn't conflict with anything, if that is your next question. Actually, it is. I know every single move and every single little action you will make. But don't worry. It will be alright. Then again, you don't need to concern yourself with that. I'd concern yourself with a knock on your door. The knock on my... Her gonna hear the door get knocked on. And right now, she just gonna drop her gun. And gonna turn and walk over to the door. And she'll get to see one of her neighbors. Ask her exactly if everything's okay over here. Yeah, sorry. Did you guys hear that? Yeah. Is everything alright? We thought something may have happened. No, it's okay. I just dropped something really loud. Oh, but what did you drop? It sounded like almost like a gunshot. It was so loud. Oh, no, don't worry about it. Well, the tile floors and the house, it echoes. I mean, My husband, he's currently out of town, and I'm the only one here. Oh, so he's not working on anything right now, is he? Um, no, he isn't. All right. Well, let us know if you need anything. And if you'd be willing to tomorrow, would you be wanting to spar with one of us? Now, the woman will go to inform her husband. Now, that is a bit impolite. What? Two against one? I said one of us, dear. Not both of us. Besides, didn't you say you wanted to try and invite them to more events? I did, but we shouldn't be talking about this in front of her. No, it's okay. I really do appreciate the offer, but right now, I'm just, I'm just a little. Oh, all right. Maybe we should get going. Now, the man's wife decides to inform her husband. Move. As she just goes to grab him and pull him along. And right now, Katsuki, she's gonna walk back over to the table, looking down to see the book. It's so odd. But wait, did did it change? No, it's still the same book, right? I mean, the same blue book she saw earlier. Right. Okay, so she does need to find a way to open this then. Maybe then she'll actually have some of her questions answered. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.